like I try to cover a variety of standards. So mine's geared towards second grade, and the standards that I chose to cover is represent and solve problems involving addition and subtraction, but in this case it's only going to be addition. And let's see, add and subtract within 20, work with time and money. So the first activity is called Race to the Flat. And so they would come up, they would read the directions, and in this game they come in and they take, you know, a set of directions, and they get a set of dice, and they roll both dice. I have this one. So they would roll both dice and then add the two numbers that they got together, and depending on what number they got, they would take the unit or the rod or the flat. Well, it'd only be a unit or a rod, and then they would place it inside their in their worksheet. And the goal is to get to the flat first, and so they're racing to whoever gets to the first flat. And a unit's 1, a rod is 10, and a flat is 100. So they would keep rolling and keep playing and adding, and each time they'd get 10 units, then they could exchange for a rod, and then when they get 10 rods, they can exchange for a flat. So, and then the second activity is called Dice Wars, and basically it's with the same game board that we have in our activity. And what they do is they take, you know, they come up, read the directions again, come grab a board and a set of dice and the counters. And what they do is each student will have 1 dice, and they'll roll it, and whatever number they land on, they'll count the number of spaces. So say if they roll a 2, they'll land on 5, and so they'll take their counter and place it on 5, and they'll go through until they finish at the end, and then after they finish, they add up each counter that they had. So if they say they landed on 5, then on, you know, 6 and 4, then they would add all those numbers up, and then whoever had the highest number won. So, my third activity is working with money, and basically it's each shape is given a value. So the triangle's worth 1 cent. You know, the pentagon is worth 10 cents. The hexagon's worth 25 cents. And they have to figure out how much the design is worth, the total design is worth. And so they would come up and get worksheets, and they would fill in the total number of, first what the total number of shape that it's cost. So there's 2 triangles here, so it's going to be 2 cents. And since there's only 1 hexagon, it's only going to be 25 cents. And then they're going to add the total and find the total of the design, and then look into see, you know, which design is more. And then as far as like an anchor for this one, like if they finish, you know, with everything, they can come back and have a more complex one, you know, with more shapes, and it's going to be a bigger addition problem. And and then that's just more for an extra practice. So, and then they also have the money, so they can see if they, you know, if they need more of a visual to see for the shapes, then they can do that. And the last one, the fourth one is candy store, and they grab a bag of coins and you know, a worksheet, and they have to try to figure out, they need to figure out 2 different ways to come up with like 88 cents, you know. I have another one is 43 cents, and so, you know, chocolate bar is worth 88 cents. So now they need to figure out 2 ways using the money to come up with this combination. And then the 5th activity is online, and basically they can come here and they just, it's adding, and they can see, you know, there's five trucks and 2 trucks, and so they type in the number and then they push enter, and I'd have them do 15 problems total, have them get 15 problems correct, and it'll tell them if they got it correct or incorrect, and so I'd have them do 15 problems total correctly. And how I record sheet is, I'd have them write their name on a star, and you know, for if they completed it. But if they haven't completed it, I'd have them write their name on a pencil to show like they're still working on it or they haven't fully finished it. And that's it.